So I figured on the day that your book was released, your memoir, about your journey and becoming a 2-time Super Bowl champion with 2 different teams and a community leader, and it all started in New Jersey, like me. You were a little further north than me.
Yeah.
But I thought we'd have a fun draft of the greatest, I'll call them athletes.
Okay.
But might be a surprise in here. Greatest athletes to come out of New Jersey.
How many picks do we get?
Let's do 5 each, and you're the guest, and it's your big day, so I will give you the first pick.
All right, I'm not gonna pick myself.
Ooh, okay.
Although I want to.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'll go with Denell and born, and I don't know where all these people are born.
That's fine.
But Sydney McLaughlin is born. She was in Danilo, New Jersey, which is right next to Piscataway, New Jersey, where I grew up. Mm-hmm. There's a sign actually when I go to and from that says "Home of Sydney McLaughlin." So I'm gonna go with her just because that's right there around the way.
Cool. Okay. So let me cross that out. I am going to go with somebody I met when they were in college, and I was a few years older. Very big man. Most people wouldn't realize he was in New Jersey, but he's from New Jersey, and that's my good friend Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah, Newark, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Big Shaq.
Yep.
Got a lot of good ones on here. Carl Lewis. I think my next pick might have to be Irvin Fryer.
Okay.
Yeah, gotta go there.
There you go.
That's a solid pick right there.
I'm gonna go with one that I've actually never met, but grew up watching him. I always thought the greatest athlete of all time until Bo Jackson at least went into right until Bo, but greatest track and field athlete of all time. 9 gold medals, tied Jesse Owens' feet with 4 gold medals in 1 Olympics, and that would of course be Willingboro, New Jersey's own Carl Lewis.
Carl Lewis, okay. So I'm gonna go with one that's close to home because he also was a Buckeye like myself. He played safety like myself. Was known as the assassin. And I got a chance to actually talk with him before he passed away, unfortunately. But Jack Tatum is probably my next pick.
Okay, here we go. So I'm gonna go close to home too. This is a friend of mine, one of my son's baseball coaches for one of his for New Jersey All-Star travel team, and without question the greatest Little League World Series player of all time, Major League All-Star, 40 home runs in a season, and that is Todd Frazier.
Okay. How many picks we got so far?
So we've got 3 each.
Okay. Well, I guess I think Mike Trout is probably appropriate.
Yeah, I think Mike Trout. Yeah.
There's no need to make that too hard.
Yeah, Mike Trout is very appropriate. Yeah, definitely the top of the charts in baseball. So I'm gonna go close to home as well. Actually, extremely close. Super Bowl winning quarterback and a very, very, very close neighbor of mine, Joe Flacco. I better say, Todd and Joe, I better say, because I know that they will be watching the video on my Instagram.
Like, hey, man. Okay. So I think with the last pick, I'll probably go with the Piscataway native. He was a 3-time state champion in high school. Went on and played in 2 national championships in college, won 2 Super Bowls, went to 3 Pro Bowls. That would be safety Malcolm Jenkins.
There you go.
I'm gonna go ahead and put him on the list. Now, he's 5th overall.
That's fine. So I'm gonna go off the charts.
Okay.
And I'm gonna ask you a question. Have you ever attended a Springsteen concert?
I have not.
Okay. Well, I saw Springsteen in the 80s. Much more spry back then, but anybody who has sat through a 4.5-hour concert of his will say he is an athlete and certainly probably the most famous person from New Jersey. Yeah. So I'm gonna go off the books and go with Bruce Springsteen as my final draft pick.
Okay, that's acceptable.
So this was a draft unlike any I've done before, and this is good.
Yeah, this is special. I was like, now I got to go read up on my jersey history. It's awesome.
So Ken, who do you think won the draft?
Oh, this is, as I said, unlike any other draft. I really, really, really like both selections. I like that you pick yourself. Mine are a little bit off the wall, but honestly, you know, when you're anchored by Shaq and Carl Lewis, I think I got to give it to myself.
Yeah, I think you've got a little bit longer, you know, tenure on your list. Some of the older guys. I got some fresher blood on here, but we also got Jack Tatum as well.
Yep.
You know, he's a legend
Yep.
when it comes to, you know, the old Raiders teams. We got some gold medals over there, some Super Bowl trophies. Yeah, I don't know.
It's a good list. It's a diverse list, right?
It's a diverse list.
It's a diverse list. I don't.
Who knew Jersey had so much talent?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's funny. I made a joke with first time I met Earl Hershiser, and of course this would be like a standard joke for me. But I met Earl, and he was from Cherry Hill, and you know, same area, same everything. And when I met him, I said, "Oh, so you're the second most famous guy to come out of Cherry Hill, New Jersey."
Right. Like, yeah, you take a back seat.
Yeah, he got the joke.
Right.
He was pretty. He
That's
laughed.
awesome.
So I got the book in front of me. I will tell you, since it just came out, I've not read it yet, but I've seen a bunch of copies around the office.
Yeah.
So I am definitely going to. I'm going to take this one back with me.
Yeah.
Actually, I gotta ask you, do you mind?
Oh yeah. We got a proper pen?
Yeah. What type of pen we want to use for this? There we go.
Sharp, hard to.
Okay.
Yeah, so what winners won't tell you, it's my memoir, you know,
Yep.
and I really, athletes, you know, people tell our stories all the time, right?
Yep.
People write about us, they talk about us every day on TV, but we rarely get to hear athletes tell their own stories. And, you know, when I started thinking about, all right, how do I tell my own story? I wanted it to be a good story. You start thinking about, okay, well, what makes a good story? It's the emotional roller coaster, and fans usually have already seen the roller coasters of the games. We watch them, you know, time and time again. But what we don't see, or the fans don't see, is what happens Monday to Saturday, leading up to the game. What's happening in the lives of, you know, the players? What's happening in their minds from play to play? And so I really try to bounce back and forth through time. I try to bring people into my helmet in some of those moments that people think they know.
Yep.
You don't know it from my, you know, point of view. So we have all watched the TV copy of the Super Bowl. I try to bring you through the Super Bowl in my eyes. And also talking about a lot of the struggles, you know, that have gone into making me a winner, the things I've had to persevere through, how I've learned, who I've learned from, and I try to condense it all into a few lessons. So hopefully it inspires people, it gives more context to the career I just had and came out of, and paves the way for not only athletes, but people trying to find their way in life.
That's awesome. When did you get the idea for this, and how long did it take you?
So I got the idea around the time when I started to realize my career was gonna come to an end. You know, you do a lot of reflecting in those you're trying to make those decisions, and I just realized that there was no way I could have that career and then leave it, you know, wave my goodbyes and that be that. I had to kind of contextualize and leave a blueprint. But that was in 2021.
Yep.
So it took me 2 years really of ideation. I was working with a different writer, and right before, probably a month before the book was supposed to be due, this book almost didn't come to fruition. I had to write it myself.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, in 30 days.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So I really just went back to the things that I am most comfortable with, and I'm like, okay, what would rookie Malcolm have done? And I thought about it like training camp. And so every day I was waking up at 5 a.m., writing, all right, take my kids to school, come back, write some more. And just did that, you know, for a whole month. But what happened in that process was the book became so much more authentic. It was in my voice. I was able to add some creativity to it and really layer it from cover to cover, you know, so everything means something, you know. So I've been hanging around artists, and the one thing I like about artists is they tell layered stories with the materials they use, the colors they use. So everything from, even me having my shirt off, it's not just because I'm working out. It represents like, I've taken the pads off. I'm retired now.
Yep.
There's, there's vulnerability. You see the story of my body that's, went through this sport over time. Then on the back cover, you see the old me. Right?
Oh God, okay.
It's a younger me.
Awesome.
And really all of that, whether you flip it front to back, in the past, in the future, in the present, it's all part of me. I carry that, with me on the field, with my family and the community. And so hopefully, at the very least, when people read it, they understand who I am as a man.
Tremendous.
Yeah.
Tremendous. Gonna be awesome. And I see you got Tom Brady to write you forward.
Yeah, right. It's like you can't. It's one of those. If you're gonna call yourself a legendary defender, who better than Tom Brady to validate that?
That's amazing. That is amazing. I'm glad he doesn't have hard feelings.
Right. He's definitely a better man than me because I've trolled him a few times on that Super Bowl victory. But he talks about it. It still hurts him, but he blessed me with the forward.
Tremendous. Awesome. I'm going to read it, and I wish you all the luck with it.
I appreciate that.
Thanks.